Throughout time, culture often dictates and informs how people live their lives, consciously and subconsciously. Cultural influence can range from good to bad, healthy to unhealthy. And for us, in this era, I'm venturing to say that I don't think consumerism has our best interest in mind. And you need creativity and reflection to develop and build a sumptuous home environment that edifies your life and your dreams. In this video, we'll talk about 3 ways consumerism is destroying your home decor style. We'll go through a little history lesson first for context, and then we'll finish up with ways to counteract the onslaught that is being bestowed upon us. My name is Loy. I finally said it. I've made 3 other videos and I've never said my name. Per Investopedia.com, consumerism is an economic and social system that encourages the consumption of goods and services as a means of attaining well-being. BS. And I mean, that's the definition. Here's a little quick history hot gossip for us from a Business Insider article. American corporations were rich and powerful at the end of World War I, but they were worried about the danger of overproduction. What if people acquired enough goods and simply stopped buying? A new kind of advertising was key, and the pioneer in this field was Edward Bernays, the nephew of Sigmund Freud, who showed corporations how to make people want things they didn't need by linking mass-produced goods to unconscious desires. Whew! So how is capitalism and consumerism destroying your style? Consumerism is manipulating our desires, our natural desires to want to build a beautiful, full life. In the US, in order for our national economy to be in good standing, we gotta buy, baby. We're on this hamster wheel of buying and we cannot get off. You gotta support your country. You gotta buy until your house is exploding with crap, consumer goods. What it's doing to us, like mentally and psychologically, it's stirring up and welling up this false narrative that we are lacking, that we need more, that we haven't attained our well-being. That is crowding your mind and not helping you be able to distinguish and discern the things that you actually want and the things that you actually need.
What do you want? What do you want?
It's not that simple.
What do you want?
So these companies are showing you really beautiful, shiny, trendy things. Everyone in the ads are having a good time, and it's solved their sadness and depression, and their family is no longer fighting, and everything is great just because of this bench that they got from Target. And that ain't it. So because there's just such an overproduction of products at our disposal at all times, not only is it just available at all times, it's being pushed in your face. Even with these algorithms, it's like, you looked at that massage chair for 1 second. Here, let me show you 20 more massage chairs until you buy one. 20 more a day until you buy one, because you want one. You need one. You need a massage chair! Point number 2, it's desensitizing you to gratitude. For me and my design and decor philosophy is gratitude is a non-negotiable. That is because it slows down the messaging that you're receiving to need, to make those wants a need. Your satiety for where you are and what's going on around you and how your family's doing, how you're doing. It's twisting that and making you think, oh, it's never enough. I think when it comes to contentment in the process of creating and building our life, gratitude keeps us grounded and present, helps us stifle or keep some of those distractions and those that need for more at bay. Consumerism keeps you focused on all the things you don't have, and gratitude refocuses you on all the things that you do have. Culture under hyper-capitalism is teaching us to be little gobbly gremlins, just gobble, 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 more, more, more. And I don't think we want to be that way. I don't want to be that way. And I don't like being manipulated like every time I go on a screen. The third way consumerism is destroying your style is it's stealing your time, your literal time. With ads, sure, with those things digitally, and also just like if you're spending hours in a store, just like, looking for you don't even know what. I do want to make a very important distinction is that it's okay to shop when you have and that's one of the things we'll be talking about with how to counteract is like when you have a vision and a goal, and so you're shopping for a specific thing. Shopping for hours in store or online, it's stealing your time, but that time could be and should be, if you're trying to develop your personal style with home decor, you should have some time to reflect and to figure out what you actually like and not what a corporation is telling you to buy, right? I don't need Target telling me, my bad Target, I don't need Amazon telling me what I think is cool. A lot of times with home decorating, you're really trying to solve problems or issues or resolve things in an aesthetically pleasing way, of course. So, if I look in a corner of my house and I'm like, well, that corner is empty, let me just fill it with something. No, it's like, do you actually have a lack of storage? Does there need to be a storage unit there, and what kind? What are you trying to store? Do you have, a lot of times the common problem is you get a piece of furniture that is just for a TV console that's just as wide as your TV, which not the most aesthetically pleasing, but it either has open shelving or not a ton of storage, and then you end up buying another storage unit and then maybe another storage unit because you're oh, I actually have some books that I want to display, or actually have some, I need some storage for shoes or whatever, and then there just ends up being a little pieces of furniture for everything. But if you had a plan and you're oh, this whole wall could be a wall, with storage cabinets that go the length of the wall, and then it's more seamless, more streamlined, and each thing would have its place. And so that's what I'm looking for, because I came up with a plan in the first place and figured out oh, I need to store all these things, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. You got to figure out what you like, and you need that time, that reflection time. And you can look at ads to try to figure out what you like, but it's usually trying to tell you you do like this, versus if you're looking on Pinterest or looking through magazines and seeing what's out there, looking at other people's home, YouTube videos with the Architectural Digest, just seeing what people are doing, what colors you like. You need time to discover yourself, your history, if you want to incorporate that into your space, what makes you tick, all sorts of stuff, objects that mean something to you. that evoke something within you, and figure out how to translate that into your home. Not everything needs to be translated into your home, but figure out what does and what doesn't. Ways to counteract consumerism. This is more about physical, material goods and not digital consumption. We're gonna buy things, okay? A great option is shopping small businesses, that is, right? Supporting local or small businesses online. They are not huge corporations. They're usually people who have a dream, they have a product that they like, and they want to share it with their neighborhood, their town, their city, you online. They believe in what they're doing. And I think that's really cool, and that we should support that. I am not the best at that yet. I am still working on it. We are still, as a family, working on getting off of the Amazon teat, okay? It's hard. I'm gonna shop small businesses more in 2025. Number 2, buy less. Easier said than done, but come up with like a little goal. You don't have to like quit cold turkey. That's just a recipe for disaster. So, we're incrementally changing, okay? Creativity is birthed out of limitations. If you don't have any limitations, any parameters, any pressure, anything, there's no reason to be creative. There's nothing prompting, or there's no prompt. Lack of resources, deadlines, physical constraints in your space, parameters, rules for renters, like all of those things, fixed elements, budgets, all those things are a form of limitation. It gives you a starting point. Limitation helps creativity flourish. Why do you shop? Ways to counteract, just like going to wherever, the mall, is to learn a new skill, learn a new hobby, go volunteer, do things that enrich your life. Easier said than done. Let's learn something new. Especially as it relates to home decor, the first tip should be come up with a design plan. Please. Planning, dude. You gotta come up with a design plan. That narrows your focus, because you're like, oh, I want a black and white photo in a gold or walnut frame, thin frame, and I want it to be no bigger than such and such dimensions, okay? Then you know what you're looking for. Then you could go out shopping. Then you could go to a thrift store. And if you happen to be a thrift store, we've all been there, or a store, and you're like, whoa, I actually like this better than my idea. But then you actually do like it better. You're like you intuit it somehow, you're like, oh, that's it. And you measure it, and you're like, oh, that's within the parameters. She's golden, okay? Then you do it. But if you're like, oh, could this work instead? I don't know. No. Coming up with a plan narrows your focus, because the reason you bought 5 different little, storage case goods for your space is because you didn't have a plan, okay? And you were like, oh, I just need this. Oh, no, wait. I actually needed this other thing. Oh, goodness. I didn't think about this. Come up with a plan. You gotta spend that time to do that. And that will, decrease consumption by a lot, okay? Because then you have like laser focus. And of course, there are things that you'll see here and there, like, oh, didn't think about that, and that'll go. There's always room for error. These are just ways to decrease the amount of consuming. But obviously, there's room for learning, room for error, and room to have fun. Pep talk over. You look great. You're doing it. We can find contentment in the process of creating and building a beautiful home environment. Moral of the story is capitalism does not own you, okay? You don't have to give into its every whim and its every annoying little ding 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 notification trying to get you to buy stuff, because it does not care about you or your style. It does not care about you developing a style and like coming home and being like, oh, this is a place I really enjoy. I just feel the way I set out to feel when I was creating a plan for this space. Thank you for joining me. I really appreciate it, and I will see you in the next video.